Breaking it down, 1 and 2. Twisting it left, twisting it right. Let's go. Getting it tight, up in B-Town. Tonight. Yeah, might as well. While we're stepping it.
I'm going to share this with the audience. So, anything happened?
That's you rapping. That's me rapping.
So, my story is about athlete's foot. I think I've had athlete's foot for 20 years and I didn't realize it. For about the last year and a half, the left 3 toes on my foot have been numb. And I thought it was a stretcher and all this thing. I finally, the other day, went and got some Tinactin.
Tough actin, Tinactin?
Tough to actin, Tinactin. There might have been a touch of Jock Extreme needed sprayed, so I mean, it was sort of a combination of both. Jock is probably actually the one to get it from that. But I figured while I had it, might as well spray it on my toes. For the first time in a year and a half, I can feel the left 3 toes on my left foot.
They were that inflamed.
Yes. And I did not realize that.
At first I was afraid. I was
petrified. I realized that, so that is my story about athletes.
No, that's your story about science saved you. You need to trust science here. But then you found tough acting. How did you not ever try it? That's the little to me. Is it jock itch if an emo guy gets it? Patrick Kearns is calling.
We're running late because Patrick is late.
He's at the back door. He's so used to it.
We're running late.
He's gonna be there in about 20 minutes.
Tell him to bring food.
Bring food?
Bring food. Egg foo young. That's what I want. Egg foo young.
What?
Did you bring Chinese food? Did you bring stereotypical Mexican late food?
Did you?
No food?
I got you an iPad Pro for the show. Yep. There you go.
Activation.
Hey, welcome, boys and girls. This is Simpson Software.
Yes,
your
it is.
every single week at 7:15 show where we digress the latest in tech and drinking alcohol.
We ingress it too, and it becomes, and sometimes it gets egressed out later that evening. Not for a while though. And
Did you say Alf?
no,
I heard Alf.
Alf regressed. Ralphing. No, tonight, Asher goes for the world record of, what was it again?
The world record of number of queefs coming from a non-queefable orifice.
So stay tuned for that. That's excellent. And Chase, we got a chase cam going on tonight, I believe. Can the audience see the chase cam? Hey!
Oh, it says Asher Cam though, because I forgot to change that.
And if you like us, you can hear us weekly on all the major channels. Patrick, what are all the major channels hip with the kids?
Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, Disney Channel.
Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Is that still a channel? Is that a thing?
iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Yeah.
Nick at Night.
That's what's hip with the kids.
TV Land? Yeah. Oh, that was really creepy stuff. Yes. Rocco's Modern Life. Nobody remembers that show.
Yeah, Twitch question. How do you share a Twitch stream from the web?
The URL.
That's so draconian. If it doesn't have a share link
I would say it's
icon,
ubiquitous.
I don't.
At best.
Probably is ubiquitous.
Yeah. I'm mostly right about those things. Patrick, you made it to 120, the first in your guild. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the reason I look like I'm hungover is I haven't slept yet because World of Warcraft came out last night at like 4 o'clock p.m. our time.
Oh man.
Yeah, so started playing as soon as I got home from work, and I just stopped playing to show up here.
Holy shit! For those of you who can't see his eyes, they could use. They are pretty puffy, man. They are.
They're looking.
You do, man.
Ooh,
dude,
yeah.
Look at that. So that is the effects of video games on the exterior of the body,
Staring
the
straight
fascia.
into a monitor.
Do you do that only with World of Warcraft? Or
Yeah.
Has it been all multiple
every
releases?
time a new World of Warcraft comes
Yeah.
out.
Would you
It's the
ca-
only game that
Would you call it a gamer's tan?
that's a good name.
Hashtag gamer's
That
tan?
is a good name
Except
for
I
it.
wouldn't want to go out in public and actually like show it off.
I think some girls would find it hot. You made it to 120, so what does that mean?
On the new level cap. Woohoo.
So the amazing thing to me is that Warcraft is still around.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
Right? Warcraft. Yeah, it is. That is interesting.
Hey, I'm curious.
So it's 14 years old, and it's still really popular. Like, how many people still play it?
Around 10 million people.
10 million people
10 million still?
actively playing it. And
What
so
was the peak?
15 million.
15?
Peak was 15.
So that's not much of a drop off.
Nah, that's really good.
I think the math
power.
is probably impossible
Yeah.
to count from 15 to 10, but it's probably.
Yeah, they actually did some chart they released a couple of years ago where they actually showed how many unique accounts have been made since the game came out, and it was somewhere over
It really
100
uniqued up on them.
It was over 100 million
Wow.
different people had signed up for the game at once.
Kyle, have you ever done a midnight release and played all night?
When was the last time? No.
That's what I'm trying to think.
No, but I do stay up and I stay up and do the midnight releases of the phone orders.
Yeah.
Apple products have done that the last
Ooh,
3
phone orders.
years. So I've got to see those websites crash, and I did the Google one, and that's pretty
That's
interesting.
really like the gaming launch of your mid-30s. You get a little
Yeah.
bit of money. You're like, I'm going to buy a $1,000 phone because
comes
my
out at midnight.
$850 phone's getting kind of slow.
Right.
So might as well buy a $1,000 phone. I think I did it for Halo 2 was the last time.
Halo 2.
Yeah, Halo 2.
Yeah.
It was 2004.
That's
And I was in
2000
college.
late.
Yeah. It was the first time that you had a Halo with a headset. And that was like on the Xbox 360. It
You
just
got
come
to
out.
tell everybody what you did to their mother.
Right.
It was great.
It was sweet.
Good times.
Did you? So were you one of the first people like in America to get to it? I mean, honestly, or there like how fast did you get to it? You got
that's
to
right.
you got to the next level cap within. You stayed up for 24 hours, right?
Yeah, I got to the level cap in about 8 hours.
8 hours.
Sorry, Dustin just reminded me that it was actually Halo ODST that I did a midnight release for, and it was a garbage game, the worst game I've ever played.
Dustin doesn't know a thing or two about a thing or two, but he does know a Samsung product. So thank you, Dustin.
So Chase is playing a video in the background of people who have died during their long gaming sessions, and I believe it. My head feels pretty fuzzy right
Do
now.
we have a number for how many people have died in long gaming sessions? 10? That's almost as many people as went to Charlottesville for
It's
Unite
starting to
the
come
Right
to me,
Part
like, I'm
2.
starting to realize like I haven't eaten anything.
That's an
today. And
excellent
it's like,
metaphor,
that's
Asher.
weird.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any Holocaust metaphors or analogies that could pair there?
I'm
or
sure I could come up with one.
any about communist China maybe?
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, Pol Pot. Okay.
See, the gaming culture, like, so EA is basically
It's in the game.
China, the socialist China. They're playing off of the capitalist system, but they're really keeping it gate-walled in there.
EA Sports.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
The game. Hey, guess who was in Madden 2002?
Who?
No. Our own Chase Raynock. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, I recently found out. Hey, put yourself on the cam.
Get on the chase cam.
Chase cam.
Talk
Or
about
Asher
memories.
Cam.
So the Asher Cam, Chase Raynock was in Madden 2002. He was in the European expansion, and that's pretty awesome. 5 points to celebrity. That was one right there.
6 points to Gryffindor.
Right there you go, Chase. 6 points to your family.
Here we go. Now, Chase can only... There it is. There it is. Chase can only respond to stream questions by typing in the Twitch chat. since nobody can hear him.
What a-
that was the hardest part. Like at least I could hear, at least he was on a mic last week.
Oh, yeah.
But I somehow feel like there was an issue with the mics.
So many problems with the game.
This is what happens when you're not here, Ash.
They were all whacked out.
Yeah.
God.
We were having quite the whack job. Of it.
If you hired him as your DJ, you'd be disappointed.
It's like
It's like-
1 out of 5 would not recommend.
1 out of 5 would not recommend.
Is this still people who have died playing video games?
10 people who have died. Okay, so now what have they died of? Because pretty much all these aren't they dehydration, right? It's dehydration.
All right, that makes sense.
But they're not related to the actual activity of staring at a screen. The capillaries,
then-
yes, I see the red blood vessels. I see the blood clots.
I mean,
so
if you're
so
saying-
deep vein thrombosis is it's a blood clot that goes a pulmonary embolism maybe into your lung and blood.
I was totally fine because I have a mini first stock.
This
with
game
beer,
makes me
so-
want to kill myself. Berserk suffered a heart attack in an arcade. So
After how long?
he suffered cardiac arrest. Now, okay, that's 1 out of what since 1980? Not that many.
Playing
he's-
Wii Fit.
A healthy man died playing
How
Wii
many-
Fit.
how
Here we go.
many people
A healthy
died just-
25-year-old man suddenly collapsed and died in front of his horrified girlfriend as the best friend as he collapsed in a computer game. I can't read that fast. The tragedy happened hours.
That doesn't count.
This is all hocus pocus. How many people die walking down the street every day? I mean, really?
None. I've never seen it happen.
Anecdotal is
Yeah, that's
is
not
absolute.
Yeah, anecdotal evidence, fake news.
StarCraft 50.
Oh, I heard about that guy, the StarCraft guy.
Oh, Dustin, everything mutes when Chase talks because there's something called a sound gate. A sound gate.
Sound gate.
is when there's no sounds around the mic.
gate.
The mics automatically turn off,
Sound gate.
Hey, Dustin.
which means that we really can't
Dustin,
hear.
he says, "Suck it." That's what I don't know what that means. So thank you for the feedback. That's good feedback.
Yeah,
Super
absolutely.
Stopper.
Yeah, you keep giving us feedback.
Also, Dustin, are you checking us out on YouTube? Because that would be interesting. Because we are all on Twitch, so let's just keep going with Twitch.
He's on Twitch.
I know. I see him there. But what I'm saying is, I want
You
his
should
feedback on
also
YouTube.
watch us on YouTube.
He's
Just watch, like double screen it.
He understands what I know. He understands what I mean. I want dual feedback. Yes, exactly.
Speaking of video games, big announcement today for those of us who have Apple TVs. HQ Trivia is coming to the Apple TV.
Whoa.
What?
Does that mean, is this the
Yes.
threshold by which
They're going to finally move
Gaming.
it to not profile font, profile aspect ratio. It's going to be in full screen,
full screen?
landscape. You're going to have to turn your phones. Is Scott Rogowski going to have to get a little poundage?
Here's the question. How do you swipe the comments away?
Left.
How do you swipe right on people? Swipe left if you don't like them.
Exactly.
Oh.
Or you swipe up if you really like them.
Double like if you really if you like
There
them.
is a super like.
There is a super duper like. Really, there's a super like. Does it cost money?
No.
Here's the thought experience. How often? When was the last time you guys played HQ Trivia?
Tonight I won.
2 weeks ago. Or when the last time we played it here, because that's the only time I played.
I won.
Do you get notifications?
I've cashed out for probably
Oh, wait, yes, I did.
$6,000.
Yeah. Do the notifications come to you regularly, and do they drive you to the game?
They come every time, no matter what. They are not the notifications that fail, which really bug me because sometimes I feel like there's other notifications that I don't need to see. It's kind of driving me crazy. With HQ Trivia, it never fails. Kind of bugging me about the Pixel.
So interesting thought experience. So I upgraded to the public beta iOS 12 a while back.
And
Ever
they
since
pulled
I
your
did,
beta?
Ever since I did, the HQ Trivia has not been pushing notifications through. So I have played 0 games of HQ Trivia, and I used to be like on it. Like,
Did you get a
every
free life
single game.
because you went on enough times in a row?
No,
But-
because I quit going. That's what I'm saying.
you
Like,
know
I
what-
quit getting notifications, so I quit playing entirely.
Didn't you just set a
So-
timer?
Why would somebody play on Apple TV if they can't get notifications?
Because it's like playing a game show. Like
Your
'cause it's
Apple
on
TV,
TV.
your
I mean,
HomePod will
that's-
tell you.
I
Your
feel
HomePod will
like
tell you. People tune in for Wheel of Fortune every night at 6 o'clock.
I mean, that's true. That's
People
true.
still watch Jeopardy every night religiously,
It's true.
anti-religiously,
I just
Yeah.
feel like we're almost.
and
And
witchcraft early.
I feel like we're stuck in like we're that character in Fahrenheit 451.
The
staring-
unperson, Alex Jones.
Yeah, staring at.
He's one of the unpeople. He's being unpersoned. If you take away somebody's internet identity, then they don't exist.
We actually
Because
have
you
that
can't
story
file
in
your
the lineup.
taxes.
So
didn't we talk about that last week?
did we?
Free Alex Jones.
Did he? Did you guys talk about Twitter not banning him?
Yeah,
Did you guys talk about Vimeo banning him?
that just came out like today. So, real quick though, we were talking about games on phones. I just wanted to show real quick which game I can finally play on my phone.
Finally.
I got Fortnite.
Oh man,
I got Fortnite on my phone. Finally.
How hard was it not installing it from the Play Store?
It was really easy.
Yeah.
Real easy.
Samsung or Google is looking to lose out on about $30 million because of the side load. People are going to have to go to. People are going to be redirected to Fortnite's website to download the game, and they're going to download as an APK, an app, a file installer, like download the Amazon.
Right. Right. That is.
And you have to turn on allow unknown devices or unknown sources. Yeah, that's what it is. Download unknown sources.
Yeah, it's a one-time
Approval.
over
Giving it permission to gain root access to install things.
So it's pretty safe, though. I mean, because it immediately reverts back after that install, right?
It really is kind of like the difference between using Mac. Like you, pretty much the majority of your application. Pretty much the majority of the applications that you would install on your MacBook,
Yes.
they come from the App Store, right? A lot of people.
Sure.
I would say the majority.
Okay.
For the average user.
Sure.
Right? Fortnite. But for the average Windows user, they're more used to just going
Download
to
it.
Google, downloading the program.
A separate
So-
installer.
That-
Which
that's kinda-
honestly
that's kinda
is
what
not
this
really
is.
way. I mean, the way. If you're not getting it from the Google Play Store, I can see why they can say, "Look, you're altering our software. We're not liable for how this affects your phone." I mean, I don't think Fortnite or EA or anybody is going to try to brick these people's phones. Samsung wants it to work better from their website. Samsung wants you to use the Samsung App Store on the Samsung phone. Samsung has its own App Store.
Yeah.
And if you use, instead of using the Google Play Store, you can use the Samsung App Store and turn on auto updates from there, and your updates will come from the Samsung store that'll back up to your Samsung account, just like an Apple account.
but just-
if you want to go full Samsung, you can go full Samsung. Dustin is full Samsung.
Dude, never go full
in
Samsung.
And in case you're curious why, this is why Android phones can get viruses versus iPhones, because they have that ability to install an application.
So I
from
mean, I'm
anywhere
all
versus
for
an
it, and that's cool that it works, even on a broken ass screen.
Yeah, that does kind of affect my gameplay a little bit. But.
So when you download stuff on a Mac, you actually have to go through that whole double check process. If you download it from outside the Mac store, you have to go into settings and authorize third-party installs. And every single time, it's a one-time use authorization, and then you click it, and then you can install it. But then you have to do it every time you do anything outside the App Store.
Yeah, but then the App Store still monitors those, monitors what version you have, and then tells you when an update is available too. That's the nice thing about those app
Right.
stores is they also control the updating thing. Where if you sideload something from the internet, like if you download a game like an old game like Civilization 2, you download the whole game. There's no
Right.
more support or anything for it, or like downloading a game not from Steam.
I like the way Linux does it. I mean,
I thought it was
repositories.
Linux.
Suppositories?
Yeah, suppositories are super great.
Apple wanted developers to jack up prices in 2017.
Because they want more money. They want
Obvious.
more money.
Obviously. Oh,
Freaking
now
Apple.
now some wisdom from above.
The gist of it is,
If I had some angel harp noise, I'd play that right now. Soundboard.
Oh.
Kind of.
okay.
Kind of.
Gist of it is, I think they're encouraging the developers to push up the prices. So when they come in with a price offer for the service, it's not going to be that bad.
What are you saying? Are you saying that the Apple is giving them making them pay less royalties possibly or something, and keeping
I
more of
think
their
this-
own money, or
so
what?
the way I read the story, they're encouraging app developers to charge more. I mean, that's the
How?
gist.
They sent a letter. Hi, this is
They
Apple
sat down and
Corp.
talked with them. They sent letters, whatever they did.
I want to know the mechanism in which they did that.
Okay, I'll get that
in
for
rebates.
you. Okay.
I want an investigative journalistic analysis.
We need like a little text over Kyle's head that you can click on and off that says Kyle is naysaying something that like blinks.
Weep, weep,
Nay.
weep, weep.
Nagging, right? Yeah, fake news. There we go. We need a blinking fake news above Kyle's head. That's our
big no?
next. That's
Can we
next
just get
step.
a repeating gif of Donald Trump mouthing? Can we just get that by him?
I want him. I want Donald Trump shutting me down.
So while I'm hijacking your guys' planned stories with my own stories, I have
No,
another
hey,
one.
there's no. Nah. So,
I don't know if you guys had heard about it or planned to talk about it, but it was all over the news of this kid hacking or breaking into an airplane. He worked as a
Oh yeah, the guy in Seattle.
bag handler
Yeah.
in Seattle and managed to get a hold of an airplane, a full, what was it, a 747?
No,
No, it was a Cessna.
It was a little two prop engine.
You're talking about the guy from Seattle. Did you not hear about the guy who just from Utah the dad who crashed his plane or stole another plane?
That was
and
today.
Today.
Stole another plane
Crashed it into his
house while his wife and kids were in the house.
Yeah, that's bad.
They didn't die. They survived. It was one of those little like McMansions.
He died.
He died. But yeah, that's 2 planes hijacked in the last.
Ban planes, ban them, they're killing people.
So-
Ban them.
Suicide from above. I really blame the Japanese culture of the 1920s.
Well, it just boggles my mind that
Kamikaze attitude,
we go through.
nationalism.
I get more action going through TSA than I do at a normal night at a bar.
Yeah.
And yet these people can get these people can just get into a cockpit and fly a plane off.
He
Like,
said cockpit.
Yeah, and it was like
There we go.
it was a
Utah man
private-
crashes plane into his own home.
So the Seattle guy was a private plane in a private hangar.
Privately.
And he was part of the crew. So he gets through TSA. He's a crew member. He's working on the field.
Clearance.
And then he
The-
just broke his
story I
way
read
in
did
and
not-
took it.
The story I read didn't elaborate on it being
Yeah,
a private
he was-
plane. It made it sound like it was just a public.
Yeah, no, it
Well,
was a private plane. He like just stole some guy's plane that was in a private hangar and everything. He
You-
took it for. What was interesting about the story?
For some
though,
reason, right now,
there's a
your
video
face
of
blended into
him.
His face is off.
There's a video of him flying the plane and then doing a whole barrel roll. Like he barrel rolls that plane. He almost crashes to the ground and then pulls it up and goes. And then
I'm a little
when
behind in investing for
they
retirement.
have the
he double
videos,
tapped right trigger or something.
well, he had the videos of him talking to flight control flight, whatever the hell that
Yeah,
shit is
Ground
called.
control
to Major Tom.
to Major Tom.
He's talking to them, and he was asking them, like, how did you figure that out? And he says, oh, I've played enough video games. I figured it out. Like, he hadn't taken no flight lessons. He just was he played a video game.
so here's the thing.
So that goes
Flight
for people
Simulator.
like
Here's the
me
thing,
can
I feel
fly
like if you're gonna
airplanes,
commit suicide, like you're just gonna go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You're gonna crash the plane. You want to die. You're getting in the plane.
Right.
You know how to make it go fast.
Right.
You're just trying to make it go up. You never intended to land it. It's probably not that hard. You want to kill the worst thing you're gonna do is crash it into the fence and kill yourself anyway. So you've succeeded. I feel like
Chase, find us the video of him barrel rolling. It's kind of
do a barrel roll.
Yeah, he did manage to keep it going after that barrel roll, which is impressive.
I mean, it was sad. The whole thing's kind of sad too. I mean,
What
the
if he was
guy
like-
is well, both of them
No,
were sad.
the Seattle, that was the Seattle kid.
The Seattle one, yeah, the barrel roll Seattle.
It had nothing to do with Amazon or anything.
Well, he
I
was
think-
pretty
no,
pissed at
Amazon's
Jeff
definitely to
Bezos.
blame, and also Starbucks.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
He didn't.
they're just
feel
too big, and it allows people to take over airplanes.
He didn't feel included.
Did you see the media coverage of it? Because they were really pissed off that they couldn't get to the island. There's only like 22 people on the island, and they couldn't do the island where the plane crashed on.
Oh,
This sounds like another version of Lost.
It was very funny. They're like, well, there's 22 people on the island, and nobody's reporting it. So we're trying to get out there, but there's no ferries run.
were there polar bears that could get fish?
Yeah, I verified that.
So as you can see,
Here's the
behind
barrel
us,
roll.
All right, so he's barrel rolling.
this is someone who's never flown a plane before.
Do you think he was like, holy shit, maybe I'm a really good pilot? Oh shit.
This is exactly like it is in Battlefield 4.
He's like,
that's probably
you
what
know
he
what?
was
I'm going to
thinking.
land this, and I'm going to tell
Man,
people.
look right here, he pulls it out.
What if he was like, just had
that
an
goes to show
epiphany
you,
and was
kids.
like,
Video games help you.
he was like, wow, look at how awesome I am. I'm going to fly, I'm going to land this, and people are going to call me a hero.
He's probably sitting back going, pilots make $200,000 a year for this?
Come on. I'm sitting in a chair.
I mean, it was 2 hours worth of work. These guys, you know. I watched the video of a 747 like landing. Those guys aren't doing anything.
They
Our
have
pilot's
auto-
doing the whole damn thing. Like, I'm watching it like slow itself down, and they're just like sitting here like, oh, push the button.
If you happen to listen to the show and you are a pilot, please write in and tell Asher how he's wrong.
Yeah,
About how
yeah.
you do nothing.
I'm actually going to visit a commercial pilot for Delta in a couple of weeks, so I will take my mea culpas.
Asher is willing to put his reputation on the line.
Listen, I would guarantee this. I could fly a plane, but could a plane flyer sell toilet paper? I should have said pilot, but I came out with plane flyer.
Yes.
Plane conductor.
Hearing you talk.
The plane upper guy.
You have to.
It's still a
you have to
necessity.
bring yourself down to your customer's level, okay?
Which is sitting.
I'm just ragging on my customers. Next story. Let's
Next
move
story.
on. What reputation? Thank you. Appreciate that.
KB Commercial Products, everybody.
Yeah, who needs a reputation around these parts in this show?
Next story.
All right, let's go to that one that was actually on the list.
All right, Chase, pick a story, any story. We'll talk about it.
I was too busy playing World of Warcraft to actually realize what was on the story.
Story
I
roulette.
forgot which one.
Chase
I
is
pulled,
rolling.
which is the issue. I couldn't let go. So, all right. So Twitter
the
won't
roulette wheel.
ban Infowars. It's a whole conspiracy.
About a
Basically,
conspiracy.
basically, instead of shadow banning Infowars, every social media site Sunlight banned Infowars and said, yeah, we don't want them on our platform. My question with bringing this story to the table for both you guys was, do platforms have a necessity to allow freedom of speech?
I think Alex Jones never really existed. And that the fake news was that he even existed in the first place.
So I was gonna say, I
So you went with
wouldn't
the Tom Riddle
necessarily.
defense.
I wouldn't necessarily think a private company has to honor free speech necessarily, but when they,
The Supreme Court said,
but when the president's tweets are now being
President who?
President Trump's
Yes, every time.
when President Trump's tweets are
only gonna
being
do it
like
for-
officially documented as presidential statements, then I think that alone changes the entire platform.
Yeah, well, I think if you open,
Stop cheering after
I know,
President Trump.
it's tough.
I know.
It's a tough one.
Okay, judge rules Trump can't block users on Twitter. I am going to read this aloud. Chase wants me to read. A federal district court judge on Wednesday.
We're good. We're good. I mean, we've had the argument on this story, semantic-wise. if Trump blocks someone
wrong.
on Twitter, they're not technically blocked from accessing the tweet because
Right, 'cause-
all they have to do is log out of Twitter and then they can view it.
Correct.
So
So the original thing is, the original question was, Alex Jones,
yes, he's banned on now Facebook, YouTube,
right?
Vimeo,
Vimeo.
He
Instagram.
just took his show there just because that was his only place to go, and then Vimeo's like, nope, no,
Yeah, we
you
don't
can't
want
go
you
here.
on here.
That just happened.
Just happened. So here's the thing, Alex Jones.
Got nowhere to go.
I think
Poor little guy.
I think the government should force Apple and Facebook to allow him on the App Store.
Is Alex Jones and Infowars a journalism network?
No.
Yes. What's the definition of journalism? National Enquirer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, does he talk about topics and go into research? I mean, sure, he goes off of on conspiracy theories and whatnot.
I don't care that he does.
Without,
I don't care that he has to be right. He can absolutely be wrong. There's a lot.
That's the whole point of journalism is the ability to be wrong.
Right.
You know, like this lawsuit that he's going into right now where he's basically saying, like, if he can't propose the idea that Sandy Hook didn't happen, which is abhorrent, by the way, but if he can't propose that, go down a necessary time, and then if there's nothing to support that claim and he backs away from it, then that's that. But if you can't stop anybody from trying to explore the potential. Thank you.
it's the same.
So if
never
they can
even made
ban
any sense
him,
to me.
can Facebook and these other platforms ban more legitimate?
Because
news sites,
we've had people like Alex Jones for years saying that the moon landing never happened, that was propaganda to beat the Russians, right? Like that's been on the air for a long time. But they're attacking
What's his
Alex
face got
Jones.
actually punched in the face?
They-
One of the astronauts, Buzz
Aldrin
Aldrin. Oh yeah,
got punched in the face?
No, punched that guy in the face who came up to him and said, "Oh yeah, it's funny." Buzz Aldrin, the guy said, "You never landed on the moon, and you're a terrorist, and the fact that you faked it, you're an anti-American, and blah blah blah." And Buzz Aldrin's
really what they're doing with Alex Jones here is just all these companies taking a politicized stance against Alex Jones and against his movement to say, hey, this is the side we stand on, because that's what everybody's doing now. That just seemed, at least to me, that's what it looks like.
Asher thinks it's a business decision.
Business.
I mean,
Did their stock go up
it's
after
definitely
that?
a business decision.
Did
But
their
these are
stock go up after
businesses.
this?
Like the only person who's not taking this as a business decision is Twitter, and Jack is getting flack for it.
But Twitter's never been profitable anyways.
no,
Whatever.
they haven't been. But I think Twitter is the only one that's taken the stand that they want to be a platform of free speech. And
Yeah, they want to be America's message board.
Then why would they ban it?
yeah, they shouldn't ban anybody.
They're not.
for the
That's
most
what I mean.
part.
Twitter's not going to.
Oh, they're not going to.
Yeah, that's what the story is about.
Is he
Twitter
banned on
did
Periscope
not ban
then?
them. Well, no, Twitter owns Periscope.
Oh, so why isn't Infowars on Periscope?
It's a good question. Maybe they are.
Why isn't Infowars a better show?
M. Diamond Barr says, I think Alex Jones is part of the Illuminati. This is a giant conspiracy to funnel more people to his brand. I think M. Diamond Barr is Kyle typing secretly under the table.
It's not me. Here's the
He's
thing.
Brocaniac on Twitch.
M.
I know.
Barr is okay. Alex Jones, man, he is Mr. False Flag himself. And when he draws parallels to 1984 and says he's one of the unpeople and starts using that sort of rhetoric, it freaks the left out because that's what they're calling. That's what they use. That's a social justice warrior talk, and it's using their own tactics against them. So it's freaking people out that they're like, no, he's espousing hate because this and that and whatever. Okay, well, if Twitter's going to start banning people or if YouTube's going to start taking people down or whatever, then we need a clear set of guidelines because it can't just be subjective based on mob rule. That doesn't seem fair. Mob rule, whenever it's social outrage, somebody hates something, take them down, fuck them, take their bank accounts,
Jon Stewart.
no more money. Yeah. That's what, oh, right. Pay careful attention.
Did you mute it? Do you have it muted?
No. So, Buzz Aldrin punching someone in the face. Is that what that was?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You just played once. Did you just fast forward it? What did you do? Playing it again?
You gotta figure out how to use videos.
Now here it is, your moment of zen.
If I ever thought of saying you get away from me, you're a coward and a liar and a thief. Did you get that on camera?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He was like, wham! He fell, wham! Look at that, and he retracted his punch too. He followed through and came back into his stance.
And he was ready to go again.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. Do you think the fat man was expecting that?
No. No.
Do you think he wanted to get punched? Do you think he came out ahead in that situation? Do you think he got a nice little paycheck from the Buzz Aldrin Foundation? Somebody paid him off. What was it, $50,000 punch?
Tag Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
To infinity and beyond.
Next.
Next story.
We know how to segue here at Simpson Software.
Segway.
I was going to ask you guys something. I can't come up with it.
Well, Segway has new shoes out.
YouTube is about to pass Facebook as the second biggest website in the U.S.
I'd believe it.
What's the first, you may ask?
Pornhub.
Hashtag Pornhub.
Is Google the biggest?
Oh, www.google.com. You think that's the most trafficked?
Amazon's
Ben
poised to
Shapiro
come
wrote that
fourth.
Oh, right there. Third.
Google still by far. That makes, I mean.
Yeah, and these numbers all come from Google.
Yeah, right.
Trust
Google's
me.
internal study
my
shows
numbers.
Google is number one, and Google-owned YouTube is number two.
Google gobble, Geeble gobble.
I believe that YouTube would be at the top of the list. I myself, like, I don't watch TV, but I watch YouTube every single day. YouTube.
Can you go to YouTube and say,
Is this a sign of YouTube growing, or is this a sign of Facebook regressing?
this is people getting lazier and just knowing they could watch anything they want on YouTube? Facebook's boring as fuck.
Yes.
Facebook is boring.
Yes, Kyle just nailed it. Facebook is boring as fuck.
It's really bad.
Every time I go to it, I'm just like, maybe if my friends posted on there like they used to, I guess, but nobody does, and I don't. I mostly go on there and see other things, which makes me shitty, I guess, a shitty user. But it's more like, I don't know.
You're a lurker.
So where's it at now? Like, where does Facebook still have a purpose?
Yeah, it's your online profile. I
What
think
made
the
it so
government should buy
Instagram,
it.
social media.
Government should buy
Social
Facebook.
media, right.
Government should buy Facebook, and that's your online profile and identity.
So
And that's how the
real
government-
ID for the internet.
Yep. You control that domain,
Can I
www.facebook.com/Kyle
Facebook log
Nelson.
into the TSA?
Yes.
Sweet.
The DMV, the
All
IRS.
I have to do is get up and
the
like
IRS.
and like one click Facebook login to get through security. Then I'm in.
Yep.
So DEF CON happened just recently.
Oh, were you an 11-year-old girl?
I was not an 11-year-old girl, but I did watch this video.
Explain to someone who might not know
DEF
what
CON.
DEF CON.
DEF CON is the annual hacker-a-thon of security experts across the world that come in and they break down all the security vulnerabilities that are going on in the world. So
Securabilities.
They have real-world hacking live on sites. They have security issues that they came up with over the past year. You know, some of the biggest stuff, like any issues with Facebook, Google, Alexa had a huge security flaw where they actually were able to gain control of an Alexa device and turn it into a monitoring, like a surveillance, a covert surveillance tool. You don't have to worry about it because they already told Amazon they already pushed a patch to it, but they were able to make it like a surveillance tool. So this is the kind of stuff the CIA's been doing. Right, the NSA, the CIA, they have these capabilities. They have the top hackers.
You can buy it on the dark net.
Right.
You can buy.
They're pissed.
You can buy that on the dark net.
So this story is
Don't
basically
tell
about.
me.
So one of the big things was voting booths and hacking into voting
It was
systems.
huge.
There was an 11-year-old girl who hacked into the mock-up of the Florida State
11D?
Security Estate.
11D1.
11D1 years
11 years old. Jesus, my brain is fried today.
You're telling me.
Anyway, so this video is
Is
a
she
video
11?
of
Yes.
in 2
This is
minutes.
the 11-year-old?
They grow up real
No,
fast.
but this is a demonstration of 2 minutes. They hack into a voting machine live.
How?
All
Well,
they
watch-
have to do this
watch the
bad
video.
actor would be to open up this machine by
She's
pressing
opening up the
this
machine.
button. When it's off, removing the card reader.
That was pretty
Moving
easy
this,
to
you don't need any
do.
tools to do this. Unplugging this, again, you don't need any tools to do this.
No tools, no
Turning it
keys,
on.
no
All you
locks.
do is pick this lock here with a ballpoint pen.
A ballpoint pen.
Press the red button,
Push the red button.
and we're gonna let it boot up here. And then I'll show you the admin access.
So Trump was right that Trump was right that it was rigged and there was tampering in vote.
In his favor.
So he was right.
We don't know that. We don't know that. That's unsubstantiated.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Right.
Over here now. Fake news. We're on
And here
fake
we're going to
news.
see a couple of error messages, and all you have to do to bypass those error messages is just click cancel and OK. And now I have
Oh man, that's
full
bad.
admin access.
That's bad.
Voting in America.
So no computers,
So
no
wait, what did that
Bluetooth,
just
no
do?
Wi-Fi. All she did was unplugged everything. She unplugged it and with a
She had-
ballpoint pen gained administrator
right,
access.
that video just ended, so she could have actually changed a vote there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the big
40,000 people use this one machine to vote for
okay,
Trump.
riddle me this, Mr. Big Government. Why don't we just have armies of people that count physical ballots?
There is a story on that too.
Why don't we
on
do
the list,
that? I don't think that would be if once it would be a way society would figure organization out.
I mean,
Neighborhoods,
need
it would
to-
just grow, and you would do your districts. You'd know who your district representative. You'd hand your ballot to that person. Otherwise, they get a little rub and tug. Is that what that was? I think that's what Chase was talking about.
there is. I mean,
See, Asher doesn't think voter
we need to
results
stop.
will change.
Listen, we need to stop Russia. We need to pass election ID laws now.
Right.
Whoa. Whoa.
No more Russia hacking. No more fake votes. One vote for one government issued ID.
Every person should register their eye, their DNA, their thumbprint,
They
and
must
their
make
likeness.
over $200,000 a year.
Yeah, there you go. I'm
Be
in.
property owners.
I'm in.
Yes.
Thank you. Agreed. Democratic Republic. So
Here's a story from Bloomberg that says advocates say paper ballots are safest. They're also the cheapest and fastest way.
thank you. I don't see how it wouldn't be faster. It's not hard to count a ballot. You couldn't.
It's not hard to hack into.
How do you hack? How do you hack
then you got
330
hanging
million
chads.
people with paper ballots? You couldn't hack that. You couldn't. The only way you could affect that is you could
The entire
have.
thing being rigged to start with.
Well, no, you'd have to have people lose confidence in the voting count. But if people were handing their things and knowing local people were counting them, and so and so knew I handed off 1,000 votes to so and so who handed off 10,000 to the state representative who handed off 100,000, and it was a chain back that would be open records that everybody could see. That would be easy. That would be so easy to do.
So have they made these ballots easier to do? Because last time I voted, it seemed like there was a lot of unnecessary writing on there. It should be something simple like U.S. Senate, choice A, choice B, other.
Yeah.
It's a box
That's
you
what it
fill
is.
in. It's a circle.
It's a little oval, just like every kid
Scantron.
uses Scantron, just like you've used your entire life. You
It's
have
the
a
most
ballot and it
obvious
says-
thing you can possibly
says
do.
U.S. Senate. This choice, this choice.
When they describe the bill, it says there's a little summation right below. It says, vote yes is voting to not do this. It makes it really clear, especially in Montana.
Okay. So then, why have I seen these problems where people didn't understand what they were voting for?
Like the famous one in 2000 with Bush and Gore was some of the people, they had the push pin ballots and in some of the places, so instead of circling them in, you pushed out a hole so you could hold them up against a light, and that would be a fast way to see who voted for what. But they couldn't say. Some of them people were saying that they couldn't tell what ones were actually poked through and what weren't. So that was one example of that. But I mean, the ones we use in Montana are pretty.
It's pretty straightforward. You have an empty circle and a pencil, and you draw in who you want to vote for.
You can have a machine, a Scantron, double check your work too.
Oh, yeah,
It's just
totally.
what they do. I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
I think they Scantron them to begin with, and then if there's anything close, then they hand count them.
So what we've established, it's pretty easy to vote. It's pretty clear.
In Montana, anyways,
because we use a simple, easy voting
voter
system.
ID laws.
Get computers out of voting.
So it comes down to that. I mean, is that
Yes.
the problem with it? I keep
That's a
reading
huge
these
problem,
stories,
yeah.
and I read like about 6 or 7 ever heard of.
Yeah, here's the biggest issue. Have you ever looked at enterprise level software and looked at the user interface of them? They're fucking garbage. They're
Because-
the worst things in the
because they've
world.
already got you for
And so
$20,000.
These are the people, these are the programmers who are coming out with this stuff, these terrible user interface things, and they write these contracts.
Anybody ever
with
work at
these
a
states.
restaurant? You ever used any restaurant?
Any restaurant order entry,
Yeah.
even my distribution software that I pay way too much money for, shitty ass user interface
when I worked
that you
at
can't work with.
when I worked at I was going to say too, when I worked at a certain electronics retailer store here in town, they were horrible. I'm not talking about us, but their POS was horrible.
It was a POS. Their
Yeah.
POS was
Their
a POS.
was a POS. I mean, these are the issues. And so when you have these kinds of companies building these systems and writing these contracts, and they're holding the market down, they own the market because of, I would say, bribes, lobbyists, and nepotism.
Crony capitalism.
Crony capitalism. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Crony capitalism. So these kinds of companies, they create these terrible user interfaces that aren't easy to use, that aren't clear what you're voting for, and that's why we have such issues right now.
Yeah, the bigger places try to cut too many corners with these stupid. They get all this money because they got this big tax base, and they say, "Oh, we got to make tax. We got to figure out how to make voting safe. How do we do it?" Well, this company assured me. Here's a number. This company assured me that they can keep it 100% safe, and we just trust them. So we're paying for
And
that.
I know how they assured you. They assured you with blowjobs, cocaine, trips to Vegas.
There it is.
What are the other ways they assured you?
I think it's a metric they can pass off to say for like insurance purposes and say, yeah, look, this company, it's out of our hands, man.
It's cocaine blowjobs in Las Vegas.
That's got to be it.
It's the benefits. So I'm using that as just a small thing, but it's the extra money that
I get the hyperbolic analogy. I'm just saying I think they just I think it's the contracts thing.
I think it's the money passed behind the table is where the contracts go.
Bananas and blow.
Yep.
Bananas and blow.
Hashtag bananas and blow.
Chase, we got any more stories on there? No. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us this week on Simpson Software. You can
Wait. I had one more thing I want to ask you. I finally remember what I want to ask you guys about. Thoughts on the Note 9?
thoughts.
I know. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have thoughts. I'm gonna sneeze here though.
I'll say it's a really powerful phone that I'm not going to get.
Yeah.
It is a powerful laptop that can give you almost a terabyte of storage in your pocket, and with a simple HDMI to USB-C dongle and a Bluetooth keyboard or a USB Type-C dongle set on your desk, you could have one badass laptop that was in your pocket. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It has 512 gigabyte onboard storage, upgradable to another half a 512 gigabyte, so it's over a terabyte. It has the S Pen that can be remapped as a Bluetooth for any device. So if you want to control your TV or whatever, you have a Bluetooth remote. Streams 4K Twitch, and so anybody who's a YouTuber or a podcaster can do it directly from their phone. It's a computer. It's a $1,300 computer.
So the question is, when I am getting ready to jerk off, will it play the videos that I want to watch on Pornhub and make me come?
What kind of internet speed are you paying for? Is this the free public Wi-Fi at McDonald's that you've gotten in trouble for?
I don't care as long as it's Pornhub. Hashtag Pornhub. Sponsor us, assholes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it should work. This phone is made to be a replacement for a computer, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see me like using it and just having a workstation with a 4K monitor. I got the USB Type-C hub here. I got the 4K monitor. I got the keyboard, and I got the mouse. And when I come to work, I just go boom, built-in DeX right there, boom.
Can I play WoW on it?
Steam Link, through the Steam Link.
WoW's not on Steam.
It'll play Doom
It'll play Doom.
and Skyrim.
A
Doom
phone that'll play Skyrim.
It'll play Skyrim.
Well, I'm sold, everybody.
It'll play Fortnite.
But most importantly, it'll play Pornhub. Yes.
You know, the only thing we're missing is
Skyrim
the
drop on
Motorola Atrium laptop plug-in device. Remember that phone?
Oh, right.
Like
Why
2012?
can't this phone, this Note 9, run Windows? Why isn't it hacked to run a Windows OS? It has more than enough specs. Could put Steam on it.
Because it just came out, maybe someone.
Chromebooks can start running.
Why don't
Windows
you be
there
the guy
soon.
to do it?
If I get
I
World
challenge you to buy
if I
yourself
get
a Note 9 and install Windows on it.
Windows
Make
10, and then I will install Warcraft on there, and then I will gain admin access to Warcraft, and I will run around as a little Diablo, and I will admin people to death. Like, I'll just kill people and change things, like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. That's what I mean. I will do it in Warcraft. Every time he wakes up, I'm just gonna kill him or transport him somewhere else, and keep taking his things. And it's not gonna be consistent enough that he's gonna want to shut down and stop playing. It's just gonna be once or twice a month. He's gonna get stuff robbed, stats changed. Oh, like today he posted, "Oh, I made it to 120." Yeah, you think that's funny? 5. Sorry. You gotta keep your armor.
All the items he finds are like piles of turds and poop bags.
Change all the graphics to
His
something he
special
hates.
weapons,
No matter
little
what,
smiley turds.
no matter what his character looks like in the game, it's always like Kermit the Frog. It's just a bad Kermit the Frog, and you're like,
I
no matter
think
what
that would
mods.
actually get me to quit playing World of Warcraft.
There it is.
You have found it. That's
If you like any of the topics we talked about today, if you enjoy the
Even
show,
just
make sure
one.
to follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that bell, smash that like button. Is that how YouTubers do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
smash that like
if this
button.
video gets 5,000 likes, Kyle is gonna stand on his head for an entire episode, and while giving Chase a rim job.
with whipped cream in the ear.
So give us 5,000 likes.
That
We'll
might
see
be
you
hard
guys-
to do. I don't think I could do 3 things at once.
We'll see you guys next time. Thank
Bye,
you for watching
world.
Sips and Software.